From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Details tonight on the plan for fall high school and middle school sports in Yellowstone County. The games will go on, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, fans will not be allowed in the stands. Now, that's just one of the changes announced today as the county health officer released the policy for schools in the county. We've got team coverage tonight, beginning with Q2's Mitch Leahy.
This fall, school sports across Yellowstone County will have a much different look and feel after new regulations have been released by the Yellowstone County Health Officer. Now, those preliminary regulations include fans not being allowed to attend sporting events, but that all could change if the COVID-19 situation changes in Yellowstone County. The plan for school athletics came together with input from the Yellowstone County School Districts and County Health Officer John Felton. At a media conference Tuesday, Felton said COVID-19 case counts and healthcare system burden play a role in any future changes. Much also depends on how well students follow the regulations.
If we see that we can manage that and we're not getting excessive numbers of cases, then we'll be able to look at relaxing some of them. We've seen some experience. We've said many times, you've heard the language, this is a rapidly evolving situation. The interesting thing about COVID-19, if I dare use that word, is everything we do is for the first time. This is the first time that we'll have had school athletics and activities since COVID-19 has been around. So we just have to see how it goes.
The plan applies to all schools within Yellowstone County and to any teams traveling from outside the county lines. The home school will be responsible for implementing the plan in their schools and informing visitors of the restrictions. Officials place student participation and safety above all else when drafting the plan. Here's a look at some of the regulations. Athletes, coaches, trainers, band members, and cheerleaders will all be screened for COVID-19 symptoms before every practice and game. Pep bands and cheerleaders will still be able to attend, but there are limitations on the ways they can perform. When traveling, Yellowstone County teams will have assigned seats that will be used for the entire season. On top of that, if any athlete shows COVID-19 symptoms, they will be required to quarantine for up to 10 days. Billings School District 2 Activities Director Mark Wall said his coaches will pull athletes from competition if they are showing symptoms.
But our coaches are pretty good at recognizing when kids aren't themselves. And I have no doubt at all that our coaches will do the right thing when they recognize that there's a situation. Whether it's the best player or not, I have no doubt that they will do the right thing.
While fans won't be allowed inside the sporting events, members of the media will still be able to attend. For more on how the game day experience will change, let's head over to Casey Conlin.
All right, and obviously we don't have that report from Casey. We'll have more from him at 10. But as you might imagine, the new policy getting a lot of reaction tonight. The decision is breaking some hearts while others are relieved. Many people giving their feedback on the Q2 Facebook page. Here's MTN's Andrea Lutz with a look at how some parents and sports enthusiasts are reacting.
There's a reaction tonight all across the board, many taking to our Facebook page to say this decision is a major blow to parents who have been waiting all summer to watch their kids play fall sports, while others say it's the right decision to keep students and staff safe while still keeping fall sports alive. Here is what some of you had to say on our Facebook page. Brooke Bradley Murphy says, I am thankful my kids get to play fall sports. There are so many states that have lost this opportunity altogether. These individuals are doing everything they can to strike a very delicate balance. Lori Torgeson Martinez says, if the masks work so well, then there's no reason for at least parents, families to be at the games. Perrin Grubbs says parents of seniors should get to watch at least a few games, especially the outdoor sports where spacing and masking is more possible. Jody Schlesch says, thank you for doing what you can to bring some normal to school and sports with all that's going on. We should all be thankful everything is not totally shut down. So if you do want to weigh in on this huge decision, we'd love to hear from you. Just get on our Facebook page. Let us know your opinion. Of course, we want to hear your thoughts. For MTN News, I'm Andrea Lutz.
Well, the state reported 2 more deaths today and an additional 57 cases of coronavirus. Cascade and Roosevelt counties saw the 2 new deaths this morning, bringing the state's total to 84. Yellowstone County added 7 cases this morning, raising the county's active total now to 654. Across the state, the total number of cases is nearing 6,000 with more than 4,000 recoveries. Under intense pressure from Congress over recent cost-cutting measures put in place at the U.S. Postal Service, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy changed course abruptly today. In a statement, DeJoy said, "We will deliver the nation's election mail on time and within well-established standards." And he went on to say the American public should know this is our #1 priority between now and Election Day. DeJoy also assured Americans that retail hours at post offices will not change. Mail equipment and blue collection boxes will remain where they are. No mail processing facilities will be closed, and overtime has and will continue to be approved as needed. Well, earlier today, Montana Senator Jon Tester introduced his new Post Act that would put a 180-day freeze on the removal of mail collection boxes by the U.S. Postal Service. The new bill requires any boxes removed since mid-June to be put back and prohibits removing additional collection boxes until a report is submitted to Congress. Speaking to us from his Big Sandy farm this week while the Senate is in recess, Tester told Q2's Jay Cohn that Postmaster General Louis DeJoy needs to be held accountable.
You could set your clock by the mailman coming to your house. And now, without the overtime, with the sorting machines being retired out for no good reason, and now they're talking about pulling boxes out. Now he's pulled back on that, said he's not going to do that until after the election, which still isn't a good thing. I mean, we need the post office for the election. We also need it for prescription drugs and Social Security checks and birthday cards and all that kind of good stuff.
Tester's bill requires the Postal Service to submit a report to Congress and prohibits removing additional collection boxes until that report is complete. Former Vice President Joe Biden has officially been named his party's nominee for President of the United States as night 2 of the Democratic National Convention convenes under the theme Leadership Matters. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
United States of America.
Night 2 of the Democratic National Convention kicked off with a focus on the party's past and future.
All of us are today.
In a first, the virtual keynote address featured 17 Democratic rising stars.
This year's choice could not be more clear.
2 former Democratic presidents also took center stage, Jimmy Carter.
He is the right person for this moment.
And Bill Clinton, who offered his sharpest rebuke of President Trump to date.
If you want a president who defines the job as spending hours a day watching TV and zapping people on social media, he's your man.
Joe Biden's wife, educator Jill Biden, will offer a personal glimpse into her husband's family life. In a change from past conventions, delegates from all U.S. states and territories cast their votes virtually to officially back Biden as the Democratic Party's nominee for president.
Alabama cast 52 votes for our next president of these United States, Joe Biden.
Progressive New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez spoke on behalf of the delegates won by Biden's former rival, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you to everyone here today endeavoring towards a better, more just future.
During a trip to the battleground state of Arizona, President Trump slammed Biden and the Democrats on national security.
If Biden wins, it will be a giant jailbreak for MS-13.
A group of bipartisan former national security officials have thrown their support behind Biden.
It was a friendship.
In another show of cross-party unity, Cindy McCain, the widow of the late Republican Senator John McCain, lent her voice to a video highlighting the 3 decades-long unlikely friendship between her husband and Joe Biden. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Well, people close to Cindy McCain told CBS News that she has not yet endorsed a candidate for president, though she may in the future. In a tweet, Mrs. McCain said she was honored to be invited to participate in the video honoring her late husband. Still ahead on the MTN 9 o'clock news, one of the hardest hit counties in Montana from COVID, ramping up plans to welcome students back to school. We head down to Bighorn County to find out how they're doing that. But first, Bob McGuire's in next with your full 7-day forecast. We'll be right back.